Hey guys, Hannah here, of course, from Reality Awareness. Now, I'm just gonna share this live stream and then I just wanna talk. So yeah, just give me a second, let me share so I can be present. There's lots of fun things that I wanna share about this. This is important. This is important. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How do I share that? Why didn't that work? It's taken so long, I've forgotten how to do this. There we go. Right, I gotcha. You've changed it on me. Huh, I see. Well, I figure it out. I figure it out going live. Reckon you can't figure it out? Just go live and figure it out. Okay, I just got to share this in one more place and then I will be present with what I want to say about this because really important incoming. If it'll load. Okay. Okay, press the right button. Okay, perfect. So, welcome to new people. Welcome to people who have known me for a long time. You might have seen that I've, number one, moved house. You've also seen that I have tried to figure out this new way of working. Just going to bring up the comments as well so I can see you guys. This is sort of irrelevant information, but I just feel like I want to share this because, I don't know, it's just a journey. It's figuring it out. It's, trying all different things, whatever. So I've moved house, figuring things out, landing in, I feel like I've got so much to share all the friggin' time. I'm working with many clients. I love what I do. I've created a life that is so fulfilling and I get to wake up and work with amazing people. I only have amazing people around me. I create like my life purpose, on purpose, etc. And the thing is that I've got so much to share and I want to share, and I've been trying to curate it on YouTube, and I want to write big long blogs and everything, and really I'm doing what I used to do because I love working in that way, and and then at the same time my life's very different to what it was 10 years ago. so I've been trying to figure out how to create amazing curated YouTube or write big long blogs on Substack or whatever. And it just got to a point where I was like, fuck it all. Why can't I just speak? Why can't I just jump on a live stream, share what I want to share these messages, and then jump off and keep doing what I'm doing? So here we are. So you're going to see more of me sharing just everything I want to share, because I literally have this long big list of okay, create this beautiful YouTube video of all these different things. And then a month goes by and I'm like, fuck, I just need to speak. So you're going to see me here more, and I know I was going to do more psychic readings, but I actually just want to share more of everything. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're an OG, let me know. I'm back in a way that I can just speak and I can just share. So you're going to see me raw, live, unfiltered, and definitely unedited. So you're going to probably see a different version of me if this is your first time or you're reasonably new here. I love curated content. I will definitely still be using it. I love AI. I'll definitely still be using it. But I really have been missing my fucking heart. I've been missing my heart. I've been missing sharing. When I get a download, I've been missing just jumping on live stream and sharing that, because that's what I do best. So you'll definitely be seeing more of me here doing that. So some of these videos will be long, some of them will be short. I definitely will work to put them on my podcast and put them on YouTube as well, because I just want to make sure that everyone hears these messages. And yes, Facebook isn't keeping the videos longer than 30 days. So I do want to, obviously I'll just keep doing that as normal, but it just won't be the curated content. So if you really just only love curated content, this is really not a space for you. If you really love raw, real, live, in the moment downloads, here's how it goes. Welcome. So the thing that I really wanted to share about today was this sort of realization when I was talking to clients yesterday, and I'm seeing a lot of people where we're experiencing that time speeding up, and reality feels different. And as soon as like we, it's almost like it's 4 o'clock in the arvo again, or it's nighttime again, and time goes really, really fast. It's like this time lapse is going really, really fast. Number one, I want you to anchor down every single day. Because they say time is a construct. We can control time. Time is what we make it. It's our mindset, etc. And that is true. And even with that, we are finding that time is rapidly increasing, right? And they call it the quickening, etc. But what I want you to do is not get caught up in watching the train go by, right? It's like a speeding train. Like, just like, oh, fuck, day's over already, right? You will feel like you are wasting time. You will feel like the day has gone if you are not working on your purpose work and on your priorities of what you actually need to accomplish that day. You will be going to bed angry, upset, etc., fill in the blank, if you haven't done what you are really being soul called to do today. So get really clear on your priorities about what you really need to work on today, and best do that the night before you go to bed. So when you wake up, you're really clear about where you're disciplining your time throughout your day. That means running your family, that means doing your errands, your work, whatever it is. So you're really, really clear on those pieces for yourself. The other part of it is, number one, being really clear on that, and then being really strict on your time. So I used to be a person who, when I awoken to all the spiritual stuff and everything we learn in our spiritual awakenings, I was like, I used to wear a watch. I'm like, I don't need a watch. I don't need time. And I got rid of all my clocks. Then we got phones and now we always know what the time is, right? But whose time is that set by? Who's running that time? Yeah. Comes on a Google time. I don't know. You get the point. And I was so out of time for a long time, like a good 15 years or so, right? And then when I was living at my old place, I was like, I actually really want to be connected to time again, because it felt like it connected me to reality, connected me to this dimension. And so I went and bought a big like clock for my kitchen, right? An analog clock. And I don't know if the battery just doesn't last. You know how they're just not making things to last these days, and the battery is not, like lasting as long as what I remember batteries to last, or whether the clock, like this is actually being sped up, or fill in the blank. The point is that being really disciplined with where you're spending your time and making sure that in those moments you're really getting done what your soul is calling you to do. When you go to bed, it will still feel like a busy full day. Time would have still gone fast, but you're feeling fulfilled rather than empty and like time's disappearing, okay? Because we feel fulfilled by following our soul and what our intuition is calling us to accomplish in that day. So really being clear on that is really important for you. Now, so as I said about the time, and the part I wanted to share about is why you feel overwhelmed, or things are like speeding up or coming into like a crunch time, or like I posted the other day and everyone can feel this big bang or this big something's going to happen, right? And then someone commented and said, oh, is it time speeding up itself is the thing? And I was like, yeah, definitely is part of that for sure as well. The other part is it's scientifically proven that when we look at something that is awe-inspiring, so we see a beautiful mountain, or we see a beautiful bird, or a beautiful view, or a beautiful ocean, or we're like, that's amazing. Something that awes you actually slows down time. So if you're feeling rushed, off your feet, etc., you want to purposely fill in your time with something that makes you go, that's beautiful. That's amazing. Okay, this is how we're going to, I want to say, slow down to the earth rhythm time, not get swept up in digital time. It's almost 2 timelines running when you can sense that. Can you feel that difference? Yeah. As the old age saying goes, if you don't have time to meditate for 20 minutes, you must meditate for an hour. So put in your calendar to, that's amazing, or times. Now, the other piece that I wanted to share about this is that in the realize I felt like I needed to explain time first, because I realized yesterday when I was talking to many clients, when something's going on for you or something happens, it's become increasingly clear when I work with clients, like it's 100%. And I don't know if this is my own evolution of consciousness and the way I now work with clients, or whether this is happening for a group of people who are on a certain level of consciousness plane, who have done a certain level of work or what have you, or it's a skill. And I think it's a combination of both. And so what happened yesterday when I was talking to clients, and I've seen this for a long time, but it was almost like I was like, oh, what is that activation? And it almost went into this like internal, we're in third eye chakra consciousness vision. And I was showing this, like, I guess, way of seeing things, which is very third eye chakra consciousness. And so when something happens to you or my client, it's like, okay, yeah, this is what happened. But what I'm finding more and more in the last 6 months is it's a diamond. There's a multifaceted, like if we look at a diamond and it's multifaceted, there's one event that you're dealing with now. But there's all these components, like the facets on a diamond, that are contributing to why this happened. It's not just this one thing. It's this and this and this and this plays into it all at the same time. And what I found with that, and when I was like seeing this vision, it was almost like inside of me, I saw this vision of like looking down, if you may, on the issue and all these sort of components coming in. And it was almost like all these facets of reality making this one, I want to say diamond. It's interesting, the analogy of a diamond that we already use around the pressure that creates a diamond. So it's kind of interesting around the facets. And diamond for a long time has been the the branding for Life Purpose Accelerator with the lion, right? And so, you know, if we look at when something happens to you or you're working on something, it is literally the facet. Like there's so many components, and it was like I zoomed out and saw all this reality, and then I was like, oh, well, this is the 5D consciousness, because it was like a layer on top. So when we're dealing with an issue, we can be on a lower frequency. I don't like using dimensions, layers, frequencies, etc., but this really showed to explain things, you know, I'll use these terminologies. And so when we're dealing with something on a 2D plane or a 3D plane, we've just got this one focus, this one, it's just this issue, it's just this. And that's why a lot of counseling doesn't work. And a lot of people come to me and they're like, counseling doesn't work, the doctors don't work, I've tried everything, this doesn't work. And I'm like, yeah, because you're ready for this higher level of consciousness to deal with this. You're ready for a 5D perspective, if you may, of it's not just one thing that created this issue in your body. It's not just this one thing that created this trauma that you can't move on from. There is facets from past life. There is facets from the people that were involved and all their threads and where they came from. There is facets from when you were a child at this age. There is facets from this past life timeline. There's facets from your neighbor. There's facets from the underworld. There's facets from, do you know what I mean? And if we're just trying to deal with one thread on a 3D level, then that's why counseling doesn't work. That's why doctors don't work. That's why you've tried everything and it doesn't work. Because as consciousness is awakening, as humans are evolving, as the truth is surfacing, as we're becoming more and more conscious of what reality actually is and how much we've actually been lied to and what we've been shut down about, as consciousness awakens as a collective, like the 100th monkey syndrome, many and more people are starting to realize that, number one, there's more to this. There's more to this reality. And we're also seeing how much we've been lied to about different, doctors and even just traditional jobs and all that sort of thing, right? And so when we're looking at your consciousness evolving, when we're looking at this multifaceted perspective, I feel that there's a group of us collectively, consciously, that are really seeing these facets really clearly. It is definitely third eye chakra consciousness. It is a clairvoyant skill. It is a practice and a skill to be able to even see these things as well. And then to even understand the components too. So in Trust Intuition, I teach A to Z basics and then the advanced chakra consciousness for this very reason. So if you're really ready and willing to train in these facets and heal yourself and train possibly to help others, then Trust Intuition is for you. Comment trust below. So in this beautiful facet, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like everything is speeding up, right? If you're just joining, make sure you watch the start where I talked about how to slow down time in a speeding up reality. And so I said conscious, I'm just checking my notes. Consciousness is multifaceted. It's not one way, it's 5D. It's not one way, it's 5D. There's a higher perception, all right? I want you to keep that diamond perception in mind of the multifacets, the faceted different dimensions, because if something isn't working, it's because there's other pieces that need to be looked at as well. And it's a skill to hold this without losing your mind. I wrote down notes. So when we're feeling overwhelmed and pressure, and everyone can feel, it's like we're coming into a junction, we're coming into a point where everyone can feel this, like something's going to happen, right? And what's happening is I believe it's a consciousness shift where we're going to sort of have this thing. And because when I got that vision yesterday, when I saw what I've been talking about here, I was just like, whoa, like if people aren't ready for this, they're going to trip into psychosis, which is what I always talk about in healing. And if you're taking through someone through a healing, you better know what the fuck you're doing, because you can trip them into psychosis. You know, even with like plant medicines or any substances, we know that you can trip into psychosis. If you're doing a healing and you're taking them too deep, too fast, you can trip them into psychosis and they end up in a mental ward, right? So sometimes chakra clearing is enough for people who've never done this before, and you have to know what you're doing. So again, this is why I train the best healers in the world. So and it's a skill to hold this without losing your mind. So when I saw that vision and I was like, this is what I feel is coming, is this big collective consciousness shift, you know, is that going to shift the world? Probably, like physically, because is all the earthquakes and the accelerated weather events, is that, sure, it's the cosmos and all the things, and Stefan Burns is awesome for keeping an eye on what's happening cosmically because it affects us physically and spiritually. It's supporting our conscious evolution and awakening, right? Or is it that we're evolving and it's affecting out there? What comes first, the chicken or the egg? When it's a skill to hold this without losing your mind, the point that I wanted to share this for was to make sure that in everything rapidly accelerating, in time moving so fast, and please watch the start if you missed how I said to slow down time and make sure you're on earth time, not on digital time, and how to work both worlds in that, so you're accomplishing your purpose work without another 10 years going by and you don't know what's happened. And it's a skill to hold this without losing your mind of everything's accelerating, moving, and rapidly feeling overwhelmed. And if you're specifically feeling this, what's actually happening for you is you're shifting out of the 3D to the 5D, from it being one problem that you work on for your whole life and you still can't resolve, to you shifting in consciousness and elevating your frequency to being, I say 5D, it's not, like I said, I don't like and use those terminologies, but to try and explain something that I can't really put into words, it's the diamond consciousness, that it's multifaceted, and that you can see with your clairvoyant vision the diamond of your issue and see all the components that you need to deal with, and be able to like work and shift all of those so that you can be the diamond rather than still being pressurized, you know, by all the events. But I personally believe, because when I got this message yesterday, I was like, if you're feeling this specifically, covered in goosebumps, it is because you're on the collective wave that is shifting to this higher frequency, and that's why you can feel the shift. That's why you can feel that something's happening or coming or whatever. Because if we really look at it, every time, around this time every year, we sort of feel that. It's kind of a pattern. There's an astrological evolution. There's a sense of movement that is happening for that very reason. So to know that you're like, you know, when I said it's a skill to hold this without losing your mind, because you might be feeling like you're losing your mind or losing time or losing your life or losing something, and it's only because that train is flying past so fast and you're getting like caught up in the, like, you know how we get spun around when something moves us so fast? Or does that only happen on the movies or cartoons? You know. And so when you, instead of that train moving so fast, you actually get on the train and discipline and connect with nature time rather than digital time, like I gave you those tools in the beginning of this video, so that you can actually get your purpose work done and be on the train, because there is an accelerated shift right now, regardless of which timeline you're on. And you can really use this to your advantage rather than getting burned out through it, because that energy is burning. It's like it, you know, it's all the cosmos, whatever's going on. when I always say, when we have a solar flare, it's like it can't blast from the sun, it blasts through us, and it's like a sieve, I say, and it like sieves through, and it'll pull up your trauma and it'll push it out and like pull it with you, you know? So if you don't know how to deal with those diamonds that get shown to you, you'll be feeling like, this is so much, and we can like pass out, go to sleep because it's too much, right? It's a coping mechanism. And so having the tools available and what to be able to do with that when it surfaces, and knowing these energies, is all the things we do in Trust Intuition. So, okay, so I just wanted to share that. So just checking my notes. Yeah, and so the other thing, so hi guys, I see your comments. Hi. Catching alive, love your insight and wisdom. Yes, you're so welcome. Yeah, I just wanted to share more because I was getting so many messages every day, and I keep halting myself from sharing them because I'm like, oh, I need to curate this YouTube video and I need to do this. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to go live again every day as much as I can because I've got so much that I want to share about what's coming through. So you're going to see more of me. Welcome. Hi. Share this if you think this can help somebody. And if you've got questions, just pop them below about this topic, because the last thing I want to share is, you know, when we're shifting dimensions, which I feel is like, you know, continually happening as people are awakening to the truth of everything that we've lived in the last 200 years, you know, it's going to get to a tipping point. It's going to get to 100th monkey syndrome. What's that going to look like? We don't know yet. But the thing that you want to be really conscious of is how to ground into your time. Be conscious of your time in this reality, and also like, and I want to say, have your grounding tools, have your things that you know that you're really connected to this reality. Dreams have also been really relevant for a lot of people. It is full moon today. It is like the last 3 days, dreams for people, like sleeping dreams, like the really clear, really vivid, have been really strong for a lot of people. So so just like, we are in full moon, okay, but also I feel that, you know, and dreams is a component of the third eye chakra consciousness. So, you know, that is that. So I just want to finish that bit with, so very often, like, we have grounding tools to stay anchored in this reality. I've got a pile of notes here because I wanted to create all this curated content for YouTube. So I've got like a zillion notes of like things I want to talk about. And I could do like probably 50 videos, but I don't have time to edit, and then upload. I'm like, I just want to go live and just share the messages daily. So like I said, you're going to see more of me, and I've just got so much that I want to talk about. So if you like real, raw, live, unfiltered downloads, like, welcome, you're in the right place. Okay, so yeah, so find a totem, right? And I know it sounds silly, it's sort of like Inception, where he's got the totem of like, which reality are you anchored to? But there's certain things that you can, like routines that really ground you, connecting with nature, those awe-inspiring things that really can slow down time. You are in control of your time, but you will feel like you're running out of time, or you're losing time if you're not dedicating your time to what your intuition is guiding you to do on your actual purpose. You will go to sleep differently if you're actually working on the things that your purpose is requiring of you. So yeah. Tamsin says, that's so funny you say diamonds. I've seen twice tonight walking past my stairs. 3 diamonds flickering out of the corner of my eye, but when I look, they're not there, when that kind of thing. That's so interesting because I've been seeing the blue light, I guess you could say like a blue diamond light. I didn't think of it until you said it now, and I've only seen it twice. Same sort of thing, flickering like over there, almost like, what's off that movie? The bear one where the witch turns her mum into a bear and her siblings into a bear. It's the kids movie, I can't remember what it is. It's about healing mother feminine stuff. Yeah, it's really interesting. Yeah, definitely watch the start of it. I gave some really awesome tools about how to slow down time. Dreams have been very clear. Yes, yeah. Echidna seems to be a totem. Okay, awesome. I love that. Awesome. Okay. So, as I said, some of these will be long, some of them will be short, but the main thing is that they're going to be raw, unfiltered, live, and brave. That's the one. Thank you, Maria. That's the movie. Yeah, like where she's following the wisps, you know, yeah. Oh, wow, and your daughter keeps drawing diamonds. See, this is the energy coming through, right? Like, everyone's talking about 3A Atlas thing, and everyone's like, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that, and for a long time I didn't pay any attention to it. And I'm like, you know, like, because it's supposed to be coming closest to Earth on December 21st on the solstice, which is kind of interesting. That is interesting. And that's when we always have a big shift, and then the energy's building up. And the thing that it reminds me of, everyone's like speculating what it could be. Nobody really fucking knows, right? Maybe except for the government. They're not telling us shit. You know, what it's reminding me of is on Netflix, there's a show called Arrival. It came out, it just happened to come out in like June, July last year. And it's literally about these alien spacecraft things that look really weird. For those of you who've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And they literally turn up on Earth. And yeah, so if you're cold too, you can watch it. But I'm like, that's just what it reminds me of. I'm like, yeah, I got work to do. So anyway. All right. Yeah, the kids love the movie. So yeah, so it's interesting, right? Because kids are really connected. So Talissa, when you're saying that, you know, your daughter keeps drawing the diamonds, like when we see these things or the blue light, and you know, kids are very in tune with that sort of thing as well. So yeah, so hopefully this diamond analogy can really help you understand that we are in a consciousness shift. And I think even when we are feeling overwhelmed and we're like, what is happening and all this stuff, it's like, number one, you need the tools to be able to heal your trauma that comes up, because on every consciousness shift, at every level you reach, there's always stuff that comes up. There's, you know what I mean? Everyone's got stuff at all different levels, okay? And so having the toolkit to grab them and work them as it comes up is required. Otherwise you're going to stay stuck there and get spiraled down to that timeline, and everything's going to get worse. Or it will feel worse, right? And you won't move forward. So trust intuition is where we do that. So comment trust below if you know it's time to jump in there. And then you shift and elevate. And then hopefully that understanding that we are moving through dimensional shifts, like that will happen every so often. It's a regular, if we look at this time every year. I was checking that my internet's gonna keep going. I was getting the message I was nearly done, so there we go. Don't let it go, let it move through. Yeah, it's like, you know, moving through the things and then jumping on the train, disciplining your time, and that diamond analogy to give you an idea that our reality is shifting. You know, like what we've known about reality, what we've taught about reality is not the truth. And as I always say, the truth will always surface. No matter how long, you can't bury the truth forever. Truth will always surface. This is so third eye chakra consciousness. If there was one word for third eye chakra consciousness, it's truth. But actually there's two words, because it's relationship. We see the truth in relationships, past, present, future, time, reality, all sorts, everything, right? That's why we have awakening, spiritual awakening. We come down, poof, here we are seeing the truth of this new, like, spiritual evolution, this new higher consciousness. It hits reality and we're like, oh my God, I see all the truth now. What happens next? At the ear chakra, we start to balance and actually experience a different reality. Yes, I teach chakras down and I teach the 8 because the ears are an important component, and it balances out humanity to 4, not 7. So big shifts are on their way. So knowing that, rewatch the start if you didn't see where I was talking about how to really ground down time and not let time slip and pass through you right now. There is a way to jump on the fast moving train. You just need to know how to do that. Because it is a really powerful time to really work on this wave. You've just got to know how to work it. So, all right, you'll be seeing more of me. Yay, I'm really excited that I can just come real raw and live and just share. And if you only like curated content, then it's probably gonna rattle your cages a little bit. But if you're all good with raw, real, live downloads and definitely unedited and definitely unfiltered, then this is the space for you. All right, I'll see you guys as soon as I can. Bye. When the next download comes, you'll see me.